A quick update on BTC. If we just jump over to the Bitfinex chart, which is my macro picture chart, just to keep things neat and tidy. So weekly, we've still got a few more days, so not going to pay too much attention, just still stuck below weekly resistance. Daily time frame, however, this is where things get interesting. So we've got 2.3 of this trend line descending, bearish engulfing on the daily, taking out the prior lows of yesterday's candle, giving somewhat of a messy evening star formation. So this is kind of what I was expecting when I made the video yesterday, is that we're going to get this rollover down into potentially these lower regions before either liquidating the prior wicks once more down here, or rejecting and then coming back up to fulfill these structural retests that are still open up here at 41,500. So at the moment, just following suit with that daily momentum, really. If we jump down to the 4 hour, okay, so we've obviously come down, we've hit this trend line, we've hit this descending trend line, bang, we got a nice big wick up into it. This was an awesome entry here on the 4 hour closure. I didn't take that myself because I was in the intraday, but that was a nice entry here. So yesterday I covered that we had a range that I was playing with, and then we had the inflection point on at about 50% of this range. So ideally, I do want to see price still come down and test the bottom of this range at 35,750, but we can fill in these wicks as well. So call it 35,500, but just as a conservative target. Bring it up 250 points. So mapped to the bodies, we can see that we've got acceptance below this level, retest up into it twice through Asia last night, 37,000. And now really just looking to follow suit with the downward momentum. Now obviously, if we look at a more simplistic point of view, we've got our low, high, higher low, higher high, and we're pretty much just on this equal lower high here, where if I just grab a rectangle tool, so we're on this equal lower high, equal higher low, sorry, that if we breach this, specifically this wick here, from the start of January, then it's going to give us the signal for a further sell-off. But we may bounce from here, come up, form a lower high, head and shoulders, and then continue down, because we're still playing within this much larger range. Anything can really happen. So we may come back up, form a lower high, and then roll down to the downside targets, or we can just break, come back up, retest, and then continue down further. So there are the two scenarios on this 4 hour, but the micro details on the intraday are what's going to paint the picture here for us. So if now I jump back over to the intraday timeframes on the other chart, the Bitstamp data feed, what you can see is that I just got a couple projections. So we can copy this level, Control C, paste over here in the 60-minute time frame. So like I said, we've got acceptance below the level on the 4 hour here, break, retest, retest, retest. But we're not actually out of the woods just yet, because we can refine it a little bit further to the H1 here. We're actually getting not acceptance below this region here. We're getting lots of wicks done and failure down into that level. So what my eyes are immediately drawn to is up here. We've got lows of Asia. We've got Asia lows from yesterday morning. Wednesday Asia lows. Here, and that's where I do expect price to come up. You can bring this all the way across, really, and then that's also Asia low. So Asia here is this whole region, and then again the same theory with that empty space. Basically, we haven't come up to retest and fill any of this space up here after breaking out of this range. So get rid of this. Now, if we draw on the low of this wick too, 4 hour, Control C, Control V. There we go. So we come down and we tested it perfectly, equal lows. What's below that? liquidity. So what we may do, if we're looking at a bullish perspective, we may come down, liquidate these lows, and then pop up all the way there, okay? And then that's going to align with this little A, B, and then we can look for the buys from the B up into C, which is also this trend line retest here. Lower high, so we'll have the 1.2, and then we can get the retest here, and we've also got a left shoulder head, right shoulder over there. It's a very highly confluenced area over there. So if we're looking for this wave from here up to there, basically. But I'm just going to paint the story here. So these intraday timeframes here, it's just ranging at the moment, so nothing clear yet. But if we jump to the 15 minute in a second, what we may see is price come down, liquidate, and then push back up. So that's going to be the focus for today. But if we flip the script and see that we do have acceptance under the level, okay, what we can also see then is that maybe we can get New York close here. So I jump to the 30 minute for this one, the 15. So we got Asia consolidation, London consolidation, and then New York open just on the switch. Bang, all the momentum came in. Okay, so then New York set a low of the day and session down there. This is New York close. Okay, so what we may do, if I clear that, we're kind of just trapped underneath it, like so. What we may do is come up, test New York, yesterday's New York low, which is also, this is kind of a little high, but not quite Asia. Asia just consolidated. So we may come out, take out the high of Asia, which is this. So this is Asia high. We may come out, liquidate Asia high, tap into New York, and then sell down into that liquidation below the 4-hour level. And then maybe we can get London create a low. Then we can get New York to respect London low. And then we may get that big move up into the Asia lows up there. So that's kind of the story that I'm painting at the moment, which could happen. I do favor the buys. Now, obviously, I was in short as well. I'll explain that in a second. So just consolidation, nothing too much. To be honest with you, I probably won't take the New York low retest short just because it's so low on this spectrum. It's just so discounted price at the moment. I don't want to sell just yet until we get back up higher. I kind of want to buy because we got stops here and also now generating there. That's just not, it's just a bit sketchy. So short position. I think that was it. Yeah. Alright, this is the shorts. So basically, my shorts were closed out fully. On this level here. I got a little bit there, but then fully here. So total of about 4% banked on this one. And initially, I was going to hold for the full swing. Down to the low of the range for about 7%. But granted that given that high confluence area of the right shoulder and the trend line retest, I didn't really want to give all my profits back to the market in the 50-50 gamble that it's not going to come out, take me out for break even, and then go to the bottom of the range. So I'm almost seeing it as like a quick A to B, in and out, and then look, maybe get the buyers A to B, in and out, and then A to B, in and out, down to the bottom of the range. So systematic A to B, rather than just holding through the big pullbacks, which may come all the way back up, and then already I've just given away like 80% of my profits. It doesn't really make sense. So that's why I closed out this position just on that first target here. Where was it? This one, yeah, there, which was this high swing low that I mentioned there. So we're just gonna see what happens within this range. It's a bit choppy at the moment, but this is the make or break. We can either bounce and come back up all the way up to 38,250, or we can breach and go down to 35,750. So either way, there's decent. We can look for the break and retest lower, or we can look for the shift in momentum to the upside and run that up into the highs. And the 15 minutes going to really pave the way for that one. But at the moment, we're just going to see how price reacts to this New York retest. Which, if I plot my intraday here, I'm going to get rid of this. That's the one that the 4-hour level that got acceptance. And then this is that low that we're looking to breach. We can also see that we've only had 1 drive, 2 drives, and now looking for a 3rd drive to complete a cycle. And then we'd have to come back up above these levels before looking for those buys, like so. So that's why I'm expecting liquidation, tap into New York, liquidation again, shift the momentum, and then come back on the retest and get long. And that could be London highs, maybe. We'll see. We'll see the picture that gets painted. But at the moment, going forward, just for today, it's just what do we do here? And then can we get a short down there? But I'll have to see, depending on how clean price action is. And then obviously, we may even come up and test these highs up here, which is kind of a weak high, if you will, because it's not really on a session. It's kind of just dead. It's kind of just range bound, but it is important. So we're just going to pay attention to this one here. Maybe get in there, 15 pip, and then we may have a 3 to 1, and then push it down even lower. We can maybe even confluence a fib. Yep. So we've now just confluenced it nicely. We've got 0.5 fib confluence, New York low, Asia sweep, here, and we can get short, stops protected, and then get down into the extensions here for first target 36.6 and then 36.3. Could be decent. Could actually be really decent. So I'll leave it there and pick up tomorrow.